Thanks, Vanessa, and hello to all the B2B marketers out there today. I'll just be talking to some of the highlights from the 2017 B2B marketing research. We had 335 respondents this year. And in fact, I think we've got many more than that registered for this webinar today. I'll start by just thanking our research partners, ADMA, Marketing Magazine, B2B Marketing Group in the UK, B2B Marketing Leaders Forum, and our sponsor for 2017, Salesforce. So firstly, let me just touch on some of the key challenges that marketers said that they experienced over the last 12 months or 2016. Firstly, 95% said that optimizing customer experience was challenging or somewhat challenging. And we know in B2B that buyers have changed the way that they buy. A general view around this is sellers are still going through the process in changing the way that they sell. And we've seen a balance of power swinging from the seller to the buyer over recent years, essentially based on the fact that there's a significant amount of information available to sellers now in order to travel a lot of that buying journey themselves before actually having to engage the B2B seller. Customers certainly don't want to be told or sold to anymore, and it's driving B2B marketers to think more around their customer experience. The other key, or the number one challenge that was called out over the last 12 months was measuring marketing ROI. And in fact, in the research from the previous year, that also became the number one challenge. So let's delve into a couple of these themes. With respect to customer experience, we asked about planning around the customer experience, whether it was called the customer experience plan or customer lifecycle plan, customer journey map. So different organisations tackle it a different way. But we have seen more or hear more airplay around customer experience in B2B, and we were interested to understand the depth of this customer centricity or focus. So in the research, 28% of the respondents said that they'd developed some form of a customer experience plan. However, we see that still less than half of the respondents said that they had developed customer or buyer personas. In fact, 47%, which was a small increase on the year before. So why is customer experience becoming more significant, we think? Well, we see moving forward that it's going to become a competitive differentiator itself compared to typical B2B differentiators being product or solution function and price. So what does that mean? That we believe that buyers are going to continue to buy or even start to buy from B2B vendors who are providing excellent customer experience and customer service, even though their product function and price may not be as competitive. And this is a key driver as to why B2B organisations will start to look further at what they're doing with customer experience. So we expect to see more organisations planning in the future. On the area of measurement, which is habitually a challenging area in B2B, the research tells us that only 20% are measuring and communicating marketing ROI. That is 1 in 5. So that is a concerning result, of course. And a key word in here is communicate. We didn't want to know if people just were measuring it, but internally, are they communicating this ROI? Now, we know there is a lot of digital and a lot of data in the marketplace, and it's growing exponentially. And this leads to a lot of complexity and the need for B2B marketers to do more left brain thinking around data analysis and process. But it is becoming increasingly overwhelmingly challenging. Interestingly, 40% of the respondents said their budgets are going up, with only 12% saying that budgets are going down. So we know that digitization is helping to drive more investment in budgets, but we predict that many marketers or that marketers will be held a lot more accountable around their ROI and these increasing budgets as we move forward. A third theme that we explored in the research was around sales and marketing alignment or sales marketing integration, and we see that alignment between these two core functions is really a pathway to revenue marketing and certainly the attribution of revenue to the marketing effort. And the closer this alignment can occur, we believe that the more indispensable marketing becomes as a revenue driver inside the B2B business. But we think that there are more challenges that are being reported here, where we say only 37% of marketers found integrating sales and marketing challenging. Because in fact, also the research told us that less than half are getting satisfactory lead follow-up, so around 44%, which is an improvement on last year, but still it's still less than half. And also only around a third reported that they accurately measure sales acceptance and follow-up of leads. So there's still some real underlying challenges around lead management, lead follow-up, and the alignment in that space. So good and great alignment talks to a number of things. Aligned goals between sales and marketing. Aligned SLAs, two-way SLAs, aligned lead management and lead monitoring, content brainstorming, content development between the two groups, and ongoing collaboration. So we believe let's watch this space. We think that we'll see more improvement in the alignment between these two functions in B2B. We can't talk about B2B marketing research without talking about technology, and in particular the key technology platform emerging for B2B marketers is marketing automation itself. So this year, 63% of the respondents said that they had a marketing automation platform, and only 42% of these said that they're connected to their CRM. So we do scratch our head a little bit around the 63% number. I think from our experience in talking to many organisations and also other vendors, that this number looks a bit high, and potentially there's some confusion in the marketplace as to the definition of automation. Some people may think about automation as being smart email systems or campaign management systems. Also, respondents reported that only 50% of those organisations that had automation reported satisfactory results, and so it's about 49% reporting that their return on investment had been pretty poor. We do know that businesses do need to be clear on what they are trying to achieve with automation. There's a lot of bells and whistles and excitement that's generated about getting an automation platform in place, but being clear on what you're trying to achieve and having a plan to get there is paramount. I will also touch on Scott Brinker, the US editor for ChiefMartech.com. So he runs research each year on the number of platforms out there that are available to marketers. This is B2B and B2C marketers. The number there represent the number of platform tools available in various categories, and so you can see a few highlighted here. So you could read that this is telling us that there's in marketing automation and campaign lead management, Scott Brinker's team had reported 161 platforms. But what's interesting here is the exponential growth of the number of platforms available. In 2011, there was only 150 logos or platforms. 2015, 2000, and this year 2016 report, there was 3,874. I'm sure that his 2017 report will be out shortly, so have a look out for that. So exponential growth in the number of platforms. It does represent a significant opportunity for marketers to capitalize on the use of technology to improve the customer experience and improve things like sales alignment and improve their revenue marketing. So we see organisations investing in bringing in the skills internally or investing externally to make sure that they've got a sound technology platform, to support their marketing plan moving forward. Let me move to social media. So we have a mover in the B2B social media space. So whilst LinkedIn it's dropped a few points from its leadership position as a B2B marketing tool from 86 to 83 this year, we see a mover in Facebook that's moved up from 56 to 66% of the respondents saying they're using Facebook for their B2B marketing efforts. So half of the respondents are saying that they're getting some results from their social activity, although only 15% are saying that they are consistent and good results. And finally, just on channels, we always tap into which channels are working, which are not, and find that the digital channels continue to extract more budget away from the traditional channels, especially traditional channels of direct mail and telemarketing. And we see here that the respondents have 55% respondents saying that the direct mail results have been poor. Telemarketing 59%. So there is obviously a direct correlation. There's direct correlation between the spend and the ongoing ROI. However, one type of traditional marketing events still holds its own. In fact, it's rated as delivering more ROI than any of the digital channels for that matter. Email marketing still is performing well. So in just wrapping up, some key alignment takeaways. Firstly, the importance around alignment around the customer to improve the customer experience, rallying the marketing efforts around customer personas, journeys, and all the opportunities, insights that come out of that. Secondly, the theme around aligning marketing and sales, given really the pathway to revenue and growth is from marketing through and with sales. And thirdly, technology, a key enabler when organisations can effectively integrate their platforms in modern marketing environments. So you can get hold of the report at www.green-net.com.au/B2B2017, and I will now hand back to Vanessa to talk about some of these insights with our B2B expert panel.